Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Dixon. Today I have a very spicy video for you. It's very entertaining, so stay till the end and you will not be disappointed. Today we'll be talking about a woman that had a child for her husband and her husband doesn't know it's not his own child. So don't judge the woman too much. It is more or less something they both agreed to that has caused this stupid situation. The video will be from the YouTube channel called Other People's Lives. And if you like to check out the full video, I will be leaving the link down below. Go to their channel and watch their full content or watch other videos that concerns them. Let's look at their own experience, or rather the lady's experience, and hopefully we'll be learning from that. But before we get into the video, my goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by August. That was my goal for July. I didn't meet that goal. I need your help. Please save. If you like my content, please at least like it or subscribe. Let me leave you to just subscribe. Okay? If you've subscribed or not, I thank you nonetheless. Let's get into the video.
I'm very nervous. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. So I do have a baby with another man, and my husband does not know. We've been together over 7 years, and he had a reversal because he had a vasectomy from his previous ex. So he had a reversal so we could try and have a baby. Long story short, he thinks that this child's his baby, and that's not really short, but there's a lot behind it.
Yeah. So, how old is the child now?
She's about 8 months.
So for people who don't know, a vasectomy is a procedure a man undergoes to prevent himself from conceiving. What? Or rather, from impregnating a lady. So he has undone that process so that he will get his own children because he left his former wife. I'm guessing he has a lot of hope right now, and he doesn't know the child he currently has is not his own. But there is a reason behind it, so let's keep watching.
Okay, so pretty recent.
Yes, pretty recent, very recent. I have known the guy that I've had the child with. I've known him for over 14 years. Went to high school with the guy, and kind of just, I don't know, ran into him and then kind of hit it off, I guess, and went from there. And we had been doing this for about 2.5 years now, the whole behind my husband's back. But the crazy part to it is how I feel is my husband is okay if I have sex with another man. And that's even, like I said, crazier. But I told him about it, but I didn't tell him that it was his child. I didn't tell him that I had done it more than once. I told him I did it once, and that was it. And I know what I've done is completely wrong, but I definitely don't regret it. Like I said, my husband had the vasectomy, and then he had the reversal, and we were trying for a long time to have a baby. And for this to happen, it was almost a blessing, but also terrible in a wrong sense, for sure.
So
the husband himself is okay with her having sex outside. So they have what they call an open marriage. An open marriage is a stupid concept that some people are practicing right now. It was popularized by some magazines and tabloids or things like that. They claim that marriages are more happier when there is open, when it is open. So that is, if you are married to someone, you are allowed to have sex with any other person, and your spouse is also allowed to have sex with another person. So to be honest, it's stupid, because then what's the point of marriage in that case? You should not even have marriage. So if you are someone who plans to have something like an open relationship in the future, my advice for you is just don't get married, because the institution becomes useless. The whole point of marriage is exclusivity. I am exclusive to you, you are exclusive to me. The world doesn't own, or rather doesn't have access to you like I should or I would, and the world doesn't have access to me like you should or would. So it's a stupid concept, but if you disagree with me, leave your comments down below.
So you clearly know this man. Obviously, you said you know him for 14 years. So you said this is what you've been doing now for 2.5 years. So this is something that you still kind of do, like you still kind of
are essentially having an affair in what seems to be an open relationship?
Somewhat, yes. My husband doesn't know about it continuing to happen, but last week actually, this other guy, he confessed feelings, and I told him, I said, I'm not interested in that. I'm married. I'm happy. I just look for a little side D, and that's about it. But that's all I want from that situation. And I mean, and I haven't heard from him since then because I told him how I felt about that.
In my own case, if your relationship requires external influence for it to be stable, it's a useless relationship. It's dead. Just don't continue that relationship. Guys, if your lady proposes a open relationship for both of you, that means she doesn't like you. She wants your security, but at the same time, she wants to keep having fun outside. So just end the relationship. It's stupid from then on.
So do you have like a plan, like moving forward? Just kind of like, when did you decide, like, I'm going to keep this a secret, I'm not going to say anything? Because I mean, you said that your husband is okay with you having sex with other people, and obviously when people are engaging in that sort of thing, accidental pregnancies happen. Do you think that he would be just absolutely crushed by this, or what is the reason why you want to hide it?
The reason I want to hide it is because I think he would be crushed by it. He makes jokes all the time about, oh my gosh, it's so-and-so's baby, it's this and that, jokes around. But I think it would hurt his pride more than anything. And I don't know how to word it, I guess, to him is the hard part.
Do you ever plan on telling him, like, even down the line, or is it a sort of now or never
I
thing?
think it's more of a now or never. I should, but I have yet to do it. But if it doesn't happen now, then eventually I think I will tell him, just because he deserves to know. He's a good guy and he is okay with everything that's been going on. So
does the father know that it's his baby?
We don't know for a fact, but I've compared pictures to previous children he's had. He's had 2 other kids, and one of them looks so similar to the one that I have. And I asked him if I could do like a paternity test, like at home, and he was okay with that completely. But like I said, I haven't made contact with him since everything went down, and he said he had feelings. So
you don't know for like an absolute fact that this is actually not your husband's?
I say I don't know, but like I said, my husband had a reversal, and then we tried for over 3 years to have a baby, and it never worked. And then I was sleeping with this guy, and boom, baby.
Yeah, odds are you're probably right about that.
And they look very similar. So
if you waited, how do you think you would react down the line? Say it was, years from now where time has passed and he's...
To be honest, I don't pity the man, but this question is more or less like, he will be angry or he will feel sad in the future if he learns the child is not his own, regardless. But I don't feel any pity for him. He's the one who allowed this to go on.
Raising this child as his own, and then you were to tell him that, because I wouldn't say I'm on the brink of fatherhood, but I think it's something in the near future, and it's almost hard to comprehend getting that news after so much time would have passed of raising this child of my own. Do you think that would you said damage his pride, but do you think it would hurt him beyond that?
I think it would hurt him beyond that a little bit if I told him later. If I told him now, it may not be as difficult for him to take that information.
Yeah, because also at a certain point, the kid's going to have to find out who his real father is as well.
Agreed.
Yeah, if you never told your husband, I guess if you wanted the kid to know who his real father was, or does it cross your mind that maybe you would just kind of keep this secret forever with your husband and the kid, just kind of assuming that they're father and son?
I mean, it has crossed my mind that I would never say anything to either one of them. And it might be easier to do that, but I'm hard-headed. I don't like to do things the easy way. So I think that I would eventually go ahead and just tell them both in the long run. I think I would tell him first, of course. But to tell the child would be even harder, I think, unless my husband was involved in that conversation.
With the way this conversation is going, it's as if she's the one who proposed the open relationship, or more or less it was agreed upon in a progressive manner, or it just happened and he looked the other way. He said, I'm fine, it's okay. The man is to blame, to be honest. I would naturally have taken his side, but he is the one to blame. This is not something you should accept in your relationship, talk less of in your marriage.
Yeah, it almost kind of feels like now, like because they're super young, it would be almost easier to do it sooner rather than later, because once they're old enough to kind of realize that something went on, it could, get a little more difficult in that way.
Correct. I feel like describing the situation with the open relationship. I mean, it may be easier nowadays than it would be in the past to be like, hey, your mom and dad were in an open
Side note, the guy is wearing a Nigerian jersey. I'm Nigerian if you don't know.
relationship. This is what happened here.
Right. Was that I'm curious about that too. Was that kind of from the start of your relationship just something that you both agreed on to be in open relationships?
It was not. He doesn't want to be with anybody else. I didn't for a while, and I did cheat on him in the past.
Exactly. She's the one that went out on him. What am I saying? I had a feeling before when I watched the beginning of this video. He tolerated it. It happened and he just let it slide. No wonder she's doing it. To be honest, if there's no punishment for sin, it's a permission to continue, or more or less to extend or to do more than you even intended to do.
And then once he found out, he was like, okay, well, we came to the conclusion, do what you need to do as long as you come home to me, is the type of situation it was.
Right.
How far along into your relationship did that occur?
Damn,
we have
that's
been together
weak.
for about 7 years, and we've been doing this for about 3.
Okay.
Is there fear that the truth would come out in the near future, even if you weren't kind of prepared to say, or you didn't want it to come out, whether it's, maybe the other man getting in contact with your husband, kind of having his own suspicions or anything like that?
Yes, I'm terrified of somebody else telling him before me. So that's why I have told him about the other man. Like I said, it's been open, but I get nervous about it, telling him, hey, I've done this. And he's like, I told him about it. And he's like, I'm okay. Everything's fine. But for it to just be like, hey, this is not your baby, or at least I don't know if it's your baby or not, it's a different conversation for sure.
Is there a reason why you haven't done the test yet to find out?
I just haven't. I've been super busy with all this craziness going on and everything. I just haven't.
It's a lie. She doesn't want to have the responsibility to say I've known for a very long time. It's more or less like she wants the leeway to say, oh, I just found out. I never did a test, but now I just did it, so I want to tell you. It's just buying time. If you ask me, this woman doesn't regard that man. She might say she does. He's a good man, blah blah blah. She doesn't regard this man. To be honest, what's the point of marriage? I don't care what you say about open relationships. If you enter into a marriage and you have the goal to sleep with other people, you are more or less saying, oh, I promise to stay with you forever, but you have to share me with X, Y, and Z, so I can't keep my end of the bargain. It's nah. She doesn't respect this man.
Not done it yet. And it took me a little while to ask the other guy if he would do it, because I was nervous to be like, hey, is this your child?
Oh, right. You need him involved too to even do the test.
Kind of have.
So there's more to the video. If you want to watch the rest of it, please go to their channel. It's Other People's Lives, and you can watch it. I will leave the link down below. In the end, it's something that's becoming more common, and it's mostly championed by modern day feminism, where we don't want to shame some behaviors, especially they call it sexual positivity, or is that the right term? But nonetheless, it's stupid. It's not going to work. They claim people people are happier in this kind of relationships. But I saw a stat somewhere where the relationships they are not healthy. They claim it is just to promote it, but it's not healthy. You have a healthy marriage when the two people stay faithful. Even if they don't stay faithful and they pretend to stay faithful, it's still stronger. I'm not advocating lying and claiming you are faithful when you are not. If you are not faithful, you have to mend that bridge and do the right thing. So, to be honest, this woman doesn't love this man. She might claim she does, she doesn't. Love is not something that you say. It's something you do. It's something you sacrifice for. You might not feel good when you are showing love, but that is what true love is. You can't claim you love somebody without actually losing something. So, if you people have thoughts concerning this matter, leave your thoughts down below. So, as usual, my views come from the Christian worldview. In my own worldview, marriage is to walk towards, it's more or less to mirror the relationship between Christ and the church. That is the groom and the bride. So we are supposed to also raise children to glorify God. So the two people in this union have this mission. So regardless of whether things are good or bad, we have a mission. But the modern day is more or less, I am getting into marriage to get happy, or to be happy, or to get children, or to get Y, or to get X. In the Christian worldview, that is not the case. I don't even know how I can advise people that don't have this worldview. Your wife doesn't have this worldview. Your husband doesn't have this worldview. Then what are you working towards? If it's only about feelings, then when things get bad, you end the relationship, you move on, the children get miserable, and the cycle continues. To be honest, the advice I can give to you is stay away from modern day feminists. If a woman doesn't love men, she cannot love you. That's why I can say stay away from feminists. That's Dixon signing out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Get me to 1,000.
I'm relying on you. I'm relying on you. Get me to 1,000!
Bye-bye.